Okay, well, first and foremost, everybody, thanks for joining us for 7K University tonight. We want to really say thank you, especially to all of everybody. And I want to say thank you to all the guest speakers who are going to be sharing tonight, who experienced what we just experienced in Salt Lake City at our leadership event. I got to tell you, it was an amazing event, and the belief that we have has never been as high as it is right now. We went in there very, very confident and still feeling excellently about where we sat in terms of the timing aspect. But I have to tell you, everybody, in my almost 30 years of being in this industry of relationship marketing, I've never experienced a family type atmosphere like we have here, where people, regardless of whether they're in each other's financial benefit or not, they're still supporting each other. It's a mindset of abundance, which is outstanding because everybody understands there's so many people out there that we can go out there and bless and save. Our company's got probably a little more than 100,000 members, of which only about 15% of those people are actually sharing the information out there. So I want everybody to think about this. The potential for what this can do for each one of us and our legacies for our families is limitless. We can go out there and achieve whatever we want. You've got a complete support team right behind you. And I just have to say that this has just been, it's been a prayer, and really, I was going to say a dream come true, but it's a prayer come true, because we've been really kind of praying for something to come along that was going to give us what we wanted to find. We've been in this industry for a while. Anybody who's been in relationship marketing knows there's always the good that comes with the bad and the bad as well. What we have here, everybody, this is the best of the best. You've got a leadership team and our founders and our CEO that have just absolutely the best and the highest integrity. And now what they put together this past weekend, when we came out of there, I have to tell you, the videos that they played, the speakers that they shared, everybody who came up, all of the founders, our CEO talking, and also others, it was just amazing. It was like we're home. It's a feeling of being home, and it's a feeling of comfort and security when everybody around the world's kind of a little bit panicked and a little bit worried about what the future holds. So I'm going to start by asking Danielle to share what it had done for her. Danielle did an excellent speech there, excellent talk there to all of the members to really kind of get the whole thing started. So, and I have to tell you, she did an amazing job. So with that, I'm going to have Danielle kind of share what the weekend meant for her.
All right. Well, thank you. Hello, everybody. It's so great to see you. And yeah, so Anne-Marie saying hello. I will tell you, one of the things I love the most about what we do is the connections we make with people, right? People become our friends and our family that we would have never known otherwise. And so I'll start with that, just connecting. We got to meet Anne-Marie, actually happened to be there for a conference for another company she's with. And so she came in, we had dinner. That was amazing. We've been connecting only through Zoom this whole time. So we actually got to give each other a hug, which was awesome, and have dinner. And, just to reconnect with Kathy. I mean, even, Kathy, we don't get to see Kathy a lot. So getting to give her and Mark a hug, and then Emily Manuel, she's on here all the way from Hawaii, getting to, connect with her, get to know her better. We're excited because we want to work together and learn from each other. And her presentation was amazing. So everything about the weekend was amazing. I have been to leadership retreats before. And usually I leave, well, the whole time I'm there, I can't wait to get in my room and go to bed. And then I leave just kind of like, anyway, I will just say this is the best leadership retreat I have ever been to. It was absolutely amazing. We were so inspired by so many different people, so many different messages. Our founders are absolutely amazing. If you haven't watched that founder video yet, definitely take the 41 minutes to watch it. It will blow, you will be, to me, if that's all I ever saw about 7K, I would have said, well, how do I sign up? I want to partner with these people. They know where they're going. They know what they're doing. They are here divinely for this time. I have no doubt about that. And the community is probably one of the best things. I actually had a conversation yesterday with a woman who, after, coming from the retreat, you get right back on the horn, and I connected with an 84-year-old woman. She was amazing. And at first she was a little bit hesitant. She was kind of a cold market lead. Oh, it's one of those multi-level marketing things. Well, by the end of our conversation, when I got onto the community and I got onto the vision of what these founders are doing, she was in and she's grabbing a membership. So it's amazing. You just never know what people are going to be drawn to. And the way they laid it out this weekend, it was just, I didn't think my belief could get any higher. So super excited. Like I said, that for a drip tool, second touch with somebody who, you know, they're in your funnel. You're like, what do I send them next? Get everyone you've ever reached out to who is sitting on the fence, get them the founders video, let them watch that. And I guarantee you're going to have people coming back saying, all right, how do I sign up? So I'll stop there, but I'm just excited to hear from everybody.
And I just want to mention one thing about the 84-year-old lady that Danielle was talking to yesterday. She got in very negative on the idea of sharing, but by the time it was done.
By the time it was done, I was talking about community. She's like, well, thinking about my community, she's like, I can probably think of about 3 people, you know, so it completely went from like, no, because we were network marketing to already building her list. So,
yeah. And that's excellent. And the founders video is at 7ktoday.com. And you'll see it right at the very top. Just click on that link and it'll take you into where you can get it. But don't go watching it now, because we've got some of the absolute best of the best in all of 7K who are going to be on here to share with you. And this is what I'm going to ask all of the folks who were at our leadership meeting in Salt Lake City. I don't even like to call it a meeting. What would we call it?
it was a retreat.
It was a retreat,
We
even
had
though we're
so
in a
much
hotel.
fun.
It was a nice retreat.
We didn't get a massage, but it was still, we got a massage here. Our hearts and our minds were massaged.
Absolutely. And so this is what I'm going to ask all of the folks who were there. And again, these are the best of the best in this company, everybody. Just follow their lead. I'm going to ask them to share their experience from this event. But also, if they wouldn't mind sharing one quick tip that they would recommend to folks out there who maybe have not gotten to their position of silver and above yet, but are looking to go out there and really build something strong here. So share not only what this has done for you at this past weekend, but also maybe a tip as to how it helped you as well.
And if you wouldn't mind putting your hands up, that would be great, because some of you are on other screens. It'll make it easier for us. So whoever feels inspired to speak.
Well, let me
We'll
ask
go.
first, because I
Okay,
see
you
Curtis driving and I don't know if he's going to be going into a bad
Oh my
area
gosh,
or anything like that. So I don't want to, I don't know, Curtis, you're in a good area now, but I just want to catch you while we got you. So if you wouldn't mind kind of sharing, we'll start with Curtis Harlan, the gentleman who's been so instrumental in our success. Thank you, sir.
Well, I won't be able to raise my hand up, so thanks for calling me Mark there. But first of all, I got to just say thank you to Mark and Danielle, you know, just for your consistency and doing this call every week, and, you know, just everything you're doing for 7K. And if I had to, you know, say one thing that was a takeaway for me was, you know, just grabbing the vision of what this company is really doing here. And, you know, it's, they keep talking about we're really just getting started. And I truly believe we are at the beginning of this company. And you know, it's, even though it's been around for 5 years, but they've laid the foundation. And guys, it's only going to get gooder. And you know, if I had one nugget to say for if you're new, is just be excited when you're talking to people. I mean, you know, my excitement, I think, is what a lot of people see and feel when I'm sharing this message to 7K, because I get so excited about it. And, you know, you got to be excited about something for people to want to follow you. And, you know, I am, I am totally excited. I've been on nothing but Zoom after Zoom after call since I've gotten back, and just reaching out, using the tools that 7K is to put into place here. That founders video, guys, is the tool. That's really all we need. You just share that with people you've been talking to so they can hear the vision. Let them hear your excitement. And guys, they're going to grab a membership. So I'll turn it over. I know you got a lot of other leaders on here. So thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Curtis, and you drive safe. I'm assuming you're driving, unless you're sitting on a plane in the dark and everybody else around you sleeping. So
I had to do a meeting. So, yep.
There you go. All righty. And I see Karen and Steve out there. They had their hands up. I know I'm going across, so I'm not going in the correct order. But Karen and Steve, this couple is a power couple. We love them to death. We've known them for years. Be able to partner with them once again has just been an absolute honor. And I'll hand it over to you both.
Thanks, you guys.
Hi, how you doing?
You wanna say?
Awesome.
All right.
I'll tell you, I have been to a bunch of leadership retreats with Karen, and that one was by far the best I've ever been to. I learned more in that short amount of time than I did in all of the other ones combined. And what Danielle said, being together with the group, you get more information after the training as well as the training. You get as much information from all the other people there. It was fantastic. Going on trips, going, to Holman studio, and it was just a lot of fun. We had a great time.
Absolutely. And I have to say again, always thank you to you two, Mark and Danielle, for sharing this with us. And,
Yeah.
like Steve said, we've been on many leadership retreats. And I will say that for me, it was an eye opener. For me, it gave me the answer I've been looking for, clarity, hope, that this company is by far running really as a faith-based company. Even though you don't have to be religious to be in 7K, but because they're really working from their hearts, they're a bunch of cowboys, as they call themselves, and they really do care for the normal person, not a leader, not a builder, not a networker, but a regular average person. And it gave me that confidence again, and that belief that this company is forever. And I've said that many times, you guys, and it's hard for me to swallow. But when you compare it to, me comparing it to all the 3 or 4 other companies I've done as a business, which had products and expiration dates and challenging compensation plans and egos, and I can go on, where people are garage qualified. It's nice to be a part of a company that deals with a product that's God's money, that's not, and it does not have an expiration, and that it doesn't lose its value, but it is valuable. So I can go on. And again, I was in awe. I went, what many of you might know, I'm, kind of hiding from the company I'm still with. And I went very, very fearfully, running from the camera, running and don't take my picture, to talking to a gentleman. And he actually gave me my wings, and I became a butterfly. And I said, nobody's going to bully me on this schoolyard. And so I was front row, right in front of the camera, because I believe in this company so much. So with that, you guys, we are in such wonderful hands. They truly do want you and us to excel, but we can't do it without opening up the door to our business right here. And if we don't, Roger will be very pissed off. And I use that air quotes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then that will make you go see that video, watch that video all the way to the end, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Awesome. If you had a tip that
Awesome.
you wanted to share, Karen, what would be like a specific tip? Or Karen and Steve, both of you together?
Oh gosh, I'm going to steal someone's. I know many of you are going to say, Kendra said it this morning. She said, Danielle said, or was it Danielle, that if when we're sharing it with somebody and they say, gosh, it just doesn't sound like it'd be something I'd be interested in, then you say, then you haven't found the right coin yet. You haven't seen the right coin yet. I just love
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Directly from Tom Holdman himself.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
for-
that's right.
Yeah, geez, that's quite an honor there. All right. Thank you so much, Karen and Steve. And now we're going to go out to a lady who we just absolutely adore. And I have to tell you that she's the one who really kind of paved the way for us to ultimately be here, because she said yes. And then she went and shared it with Kathy, and then Kathy shared it with us. And it's really kind of started a chain reaction. But she's had many years of experience here, and I can't wait to hear what she's going to share about what her experience was, and also a great tip that she can share for everybody out here. And that's Mrs. Maureen Faulkner.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me, because everybody knows that I'm computer challenged. Low tech, high tech. But but I know there's some other people that want to get that same definition. One of the things that I wanted to share that wasn't shared this morning, a couple of things. One was that I was deeply impressed, and this might sound weird to some of you, but I was deeply impressed that when we received our name tags for this leadership conference, our rank was not on it. Okay? What that should tell everybody on this call is that 7K sees an associate, a new member, an executive gold, silver as a person. They don't see a rank. And I thought that was really terrific, because when I was talking to a new person, I had no idea what the rank was, but I knew they were there for a reason. Maybe somebody invited them as a guest, or maybe they were the newest executive gold in the company. It was up to me to find out what they brought to the table. That was very impressive, and I've never seen it done. Most of the time, people are showing off their badges, showing off their stars, trying to be more special than the next person. That was not allowed. Number two, Danielle gave a great presentation, and when she did something very clever. And Danielle, I thank you for it, because it gave me some energy that, because I had a long week, I might not have had. And what she did was she asked everyone who was there from 2016, when the company started, to stand up. 6 people stood up. 2017 must have been a tough year, because only 2 people stood up. And then she went on to where we're at right now. We are at the beginning of momentum. The second year, only 2 people survived it to be in that leadership room. And now when you look at 2021 and 2022 and the silvers and golds that were in that room, that has got to tell you what one of the owners said, and that is, we are at the end of phase 1. We are going to phase 2. I've only once in my history of over 5 decades in this industry been in a company at the very beginning, phase 1 of that company. And so I'm really excited to be here for that. And I really quickly will tell you that when Josh got up and he gave the vision of the leaders, he said, we need you to know that we are people of purpose. We are challengers. We are dreamers. We are conquerors, and we are winners. Now, we as owners of the company need you as leaders to be all of those things. I take that challenge. I love that challenge. And so it was, as you all said, it was the best meeting. It was mostly the owners of the company. We have 2 people on the call right now that I know of that I can see, Danielle and Em, who both gave us great talks. Madiba, Wayne Clark, they all gave great talks. But most of what I heard from the heart of the owners about the future blew me away. And I want to just tell anybody on this call that even has a desire, you need to be there in the fourth quarter of next year, because it's only going to be golds and above. So you need to do whatever it takes to get into that meeting. It will change your life. What can I give you for advice? Perseverance is running many small races. And I'm not sure who said, it's either Danielle or Emily said, help others to help others to help others. And do it on a daily basis. The people that you see right now that got invited to this conference, every single day, they persevere. Run small races and help others. Those are the two things they do. Thank you for giving me a little time to share my excitement.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Maureen. Excellent stuff from everybody here. Thank you, everybody. Now I'm going to go over to the lady who actually blessed us by picking up the phone and calling us and asking us if we take a look. And I have to tell you about Kathy. Kathy is such a good-hearted person who always has a positive attitude. I've never seen her angry or upset. I've always seen her just always willing to help everybody. And she is just an amazing diamond, not even diamond. I don't like to use that term because we don't have that rank in here. We'll just say gold. How's that? Which is even better. So with that, I'm going to ask Kathy Guzzo, if you wouldn't mind sharing your experience and then a quick tip, that would be fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Mark. That was very sweet. I like the title Diamond. That's good for me. Diamonds polish diamonds. So welcome here, diamonds. I mean, you got to be tough. I agree with everything that we just heard. Phenomenal. What an honor to be in this community of such high caliber, high integrity, classy people with a brain. I mean, the entrepreneur gene is alive and well in that room. I mean, I have the utmost respect for the leadership in this company and the other leaders in this room. You can see this general flow, and it comes from the founders and owners, that integrity, that honesty, that character, and it rolls to Jason and Blake, the staff, and then it rolls in a wave out to us, and then a wave out to you, and a wave out to anyone that we lock arms with. That's the atmosphere of this community. I don't think anyone that understands what we have does this business with anything but their heart. You know, they say the journey from your head to your heart is all you got to do. Once you've done that, you're convicted. You know what you're doing is good. It's good for so many people. But as Maureen said, as Mark and Danielle said, Curtis and everybody on here, and Steve and Karen, just to be immersed in that, we got just totally surrounded by it in such a way that it was so powerful. But the MO here is love. The modus operandi is love. And it just so aligns with all of us spiritually. For everybody that I can see in this Zoom that I know and understand, there's such a continuity, there's such a congruency, there's such a flow that comes from God in here. And what we're doing, we get to make great money, but it's not about us. It's about helping everybody else, and then we get compensated as a result. And truly, the owners and founders, they are more concerned about us and about us getting the word out. And you know, you've heard me say this maybe before, but the first time we were on a conference call and I heard Blake say, "We love you," something about that caught me, because I don't like anybody to use that phrase loosely. It aggravates me because it's used to just entrap people and manipulate people. When I heard it, I knew it was from his heart. I knew it was sincere. And I look forward to that every Monday night, because it just speaks volumes about who they are. But the openness, the transparency, the integrity, the heart, I've got chill bumps when I talk about it. And we happen to have gold and silver. I came in for the gold and silver, had no idea that we were going to get to lock arms with this class of individuals. And as Maureen said, there was no rank on our name tags. The millionaires or the billionaires or the associate or the executive gold are not treated any differently. They're treated like human beings, just like Maureen said, with goodness and kindness. I mean, just to be immersed in around these people was phenomenal. There's a couple of things I want to share. There's so much to share, and it'll come as we sit here. But I want to share one thing that this is Roger Ball. It's a quote, but a paraphrase because I didn't get verbatim. And he said, 7K is you. 7K Metals has the greatest people in the industry of character and integrity, loving and caring. Success of 7K is because of you, Roger Ball. They're not taking credit for it. It's because of you. And it's because we are getting the word out. Now listen to what Josh said. This is me, because I was writing fast because it was so rich. Josh said he's talking to the largest companies in the world and their CEOs. That 7K is doing something the entire world will be using one day. We're here. 7K is using something the entire world will be using one day. And you're here in this community, and we're going to do it first. We're going to have the opportunity to do it first. And we're going to have stories to tell on this one. I just thought that was so cool. These guys are so innovative. I was in the retail jewelry business back in the 80s, and I paved the way for a lot of women. It was tough, but I was always pushing the envelope in my own way. And they do that in a big way. When they push the envelope and do things that have never been done before, it electrifies me. I'm so excited to be around innovative entrepreneurs that think out of the box. We're in such a beautiful place. Don't ever lose your enthusiasm about what we've got, where we are. It is so exciting. And the more you get to know these guys, the more you trust them. The trust is there. And the love is there because of respect. They respect us. I can't say enough about that. And Roger Ball, this is from Roger. You have a mandate. Woo! A mandate. To go out and bless the world and all the families around the world. Wow. That doesn't give you chill bumps. That's Roger's heart. We have a mandate to bless the world with what we have. So what an honor to be here. And you just want to be here with us next year. Please come. We want you to get this firsthand. And I hope some of it comes across to you right now, and you can hold on to it, and you'll be with us next year. And it's just an amazing opportunity because it's an amazing community. I would seek these people out just to hang out with, but we get to be here and lock arms with them and make a difference financially as well in the world and have this great community. So that's what I wanted to share.
Awesome. Do you have a tip that you'd like to share, Kathy?
Oh, I loved this quote. Negotiate with your body to find more strength. The difference in being good and great is that little edge. So you're going to have to negotiate with your body and your mind to push past it. And that was a great reminder to me. I latched onto that. You got to go beyond where you've been. So negotiate with your body and your mind to find more strength. That's my tip.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Kathy. And also, just for all those other leaders who don't have their hands up, we're going to be coming to you too. So, but we're taking the ones who have their hands up first. And so thank you. Excellent. I love what everybody's saying. It's awesome. I wish people could have experienced it. It's hard to take an experience and convey it in words unless you're there getting the emotional feelings that you felt there. And but we're going to do our absolute best. And the next lady I'm going to bring up is a lady that we've been so fortunate to be able to partner with, who has just been like 100% engaged using a system, seeing success using that system, an amazing, absolutely incredible servant leader. And she went out and earned the silver bar in her first 90 days, along with many of the others that we've already had on here that I had forgotten to mention already. But with that, I'm going to hand it over to Annie Muller. Annie, could you share what your experience was and also a tip for everybody out here who was not able to attend?
Sure thing. Thanks. What a great idea to gather us together in this way. So I had travel delays, so I just got home today, hence the hat. But this is an important story. So I lost track of this hat in Salmon River at the Salmon River Lodge. It's a special edition Salmon River hat. And I was like, oh, well, you know, because I was losing track of things the whole time we were there. And then on the second day of the leadership summit, Jason stood at the front of the room and said, somebody left their hat at the lodge and I have it. And so clearly Lauren, his daughter, found it for me and held on to it this entire time, which to me that's small, but it's also, it is like a family. And I just think that's amazing because it's not as if they have, you know, 2 people to keep track of. They have thousands of people to keep track of. So for me, my story is going to be a little different because I can't ever be anything but honest. And I am not actually an extrovert, and big groups of people in a room absorbing a lot of information is actually not super fun for me. So I had trouble. I loved it, but I also had trouble. Plus I had other things going on that were stressing me out, blah, blah, blah. And so the reason I'm sharing that is because just in case somebody else out there feels that way, and just know that you can still make it through a training weekend, even if you feel that way, and get a lot of good and gems out of it. And so for me, a lot of what I received in the actual training was super powerful. And it also gave me a lot to process outside the training. And for me, a lot of the gifts were around outside of it, like what happened in the, you know, between my ears in my hotel room and in the conversations that happened, you know, outside the training room, right? Because we're receiving all of this information and inspiration and then processing it. And some of that included after the conference was over, some of us went out to lunch and somebody on our team asked for help to get a particular person on his team over the finish line on a particular goal. And there were several people cross line, up line, who had literally no financial stake in whether that person meet that goal, volunteering after 2-3 days of intense training to make calls, do emails. I had a presidential gold who's not even on our team up with me in the lobby of the hotel at like until almost 3 a.m. strategizing with me. That's amazing. And I come from, you know, an industry where you stand in line waiting to go into audition and the girl next to you is psyching you out, you know? So this is really, it's true. I'm not saying all actors are like that, but anyway, this is really refreshing, the culture that we have here. And I really was kind of also still struggling a little bit throughout the time about, well, how do I fit in here? And what am I doing? And then on the way home traveling, there was a sign in one of the cafes in the airport that said national coin shortage, please give exact change or some other form of payment. And then another place would not let me pay with cash. And I was like, oh, bingo, because once we have that debit card, I basically don't even barely need to have a bank account. That's incredible. Plus, it was God set something up for me. I promise I won't talk forever. But God set something up for me that one of my dearest friends from New York City happened to be performing in the national Broadway tour of The Lion King in Salt Lake City this week. I had no idea he was there. And when I met him and got to go see the show, I was really struck by how much discipline and just plain old showing up it takes to do what he's doing. And there is no shortcut. There is no shortcut to success, especially if you have big dreams, you know, and that applies here. There is no shortcut. but we have so much support here. We have a vehicle that is amazing. Zach stood up at the front of the room in one of his trainings, and he said, we may not be the company that saves the nation, but we are the concept that saves the nation. And I don't know exactly, but I think part of what he meant was the concept that we have with Sound Money, and part of it was the love and fellowship that this culture is in 7K. So my tip is to do what Josh suggested, which is make sure your why makes you cry. And if it doesn't, dig deeper. And also look for how your mission and your purpose and your vision integrates with this. Because I mean, I just want to sing and make people cry. So if I can find a way to fit my mission into this, I'm sure you can too. And that is my share. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Annie. And I just want to mention before we go on to our next speaker, you know, we're out here in Southern California. We're going to be doing a big retreat this coming weekend. There's a good number of people that are going to be coming out to it. And one of the things that I have some little half-ounce silver coins back at home, and I didn't bring them. And so I've been calling around to pawn shops and gold and silver jewelers all throughout the Southern California region here in San Diego and, you know, all of surrounding regions. I can't find any silver. Just telling you. Well, we can order it for you, but everything is sold out. This one guy that came in said someone brought in these 90% quarters and they went out within 5 minutes. So keep that in mind, everybody. People are looking and we have it. They can get it all the time, 24/7 here. And so it's pretty amazing. And Emily just said, wow, that's crazy. And so I'm glad she said that because I'm about to come over to her. I got to tell you, I met Emily in this business, and she is such a kind-hearted person. She has shared her story. She shared her story from stage, and she also got other people to really start reflecting on their own story as she shared it. And I mean, for someone to have gone through some of the different challenges and turbulence, just in terms of things happening in their family life and their personal life, and yet she persevered and keeps coming out with a smile and has just impacted so many people with just who she is. And the story that she shares inspires so many. And so with that, Emily, if you wouldn't mind sharing what the experience was for you and a tip for everybody, we would love that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing me to share in your space. And Leila said she's just an island girl. It is so true, you guys. You know, I live in an island where it's really only about 30 miles wide circumference. It's like that. And I remember just not even thinking, I thought I was just gonna work a job where I would have a window and work the 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then have the perfect home with the husband, with the kid, and life would be perfect and I would be completely happy, right? Because that's just the way we had envisioned life. And as you know, for some of you who've heard my story, life threw a bunch of curveballs at me, and it didn't quite happen the way that I had imagined it to. But I'm so grateful for those challenges because it has made me into the person that I am today. To be able to share story after story after story of all these challenges, but being able to use those challenges that God gives us to be able to create stories where you know, he really has a bigger vision and a bigger purpose for you than you believe you have for yourself. And he does that in mysterious ways. And in my life, he did that by putting me in very uncomfortable situations that made me change and shift. And so I'm so grateful that because of all the things that have happened, it has led me, I feel like God has led me right here in this company with 7K Metals. And I believe it was definitely a intervention to be able to get me here. But anyways, as far as the Leadership Summit, you guys, you've got to be there. I tell people it's just like watching a movie. It's like fantastic special effects and all of this stuff. And they tell a story and then you go home and you try to tell and relate what you just watched. And, you know, it's like you can't repeat the surround sound and the environment and the feeling that you get, the emotions that are invoked. And so I highly recommend that you get there next year so that you could be here speaking and experiencing what we experienced. Now, gosh, some of the takeaways I had, all of these leaders that had that takeaway, I mean, we all, man, Danielle, by the way, man, hands off to you. That was so amazing. I have so much to learn from you and other leaders. That's one of my takeaways, you guys, is that we got a room full of leaders that were there that you can just really rely on and trust on. And you don't even have to be on the same team. You don't have to benefit from each other financially. We all have the same heart, the same mission, the same purpose, and that is to spread the 7K message that Roger Ball talked about, and that we are all in that same mission and that same purpose. And I love the fact that a lot of the leaders here were not in that ego and that space of like, I'm going to be better than you. You know, it's really more of a, I want to be better than who I was yesterday. I want to be a better version of myself. And a lot of the leaders who are in that room were exactly like that. And, you know, like Danielle, I had the opportunity to be able to stand on stage and speak. And I think Greg Zerniak said it. He was like, man, I'm standing here and I'm looking at all these leaders. And he was basically like just in awe that he was speaking to a lot of people. And I felt the same way. I had to pee like 4 or 5 times before I actually got on stage. I was just so nervous because I knew that I was in front of so many amazing, amazing leaders. And just to be able to share my story and be able to be able to be asked was such an honor, because that means that the company is truly relying on us, right, to be able to make sure we're spreading that message. One of the things that really, really stood out with me is that the founders were sitting at our table. They didn't have a special table. They didn't have an area roped off. Like at lunch, they were sitting with us. They were right there talking. So their families were there. Gosh, this is such a family feel. This is truly a legacy company. Well, one, Roger Ball has his daughter, right, on the board. What that means is he's leaving a legacy for her. Not only that, a lot of the founders, right, if you look, their family members are at our meetings, helping, supporting, working. Like they're not beneath putting in work. In fact, at Seven River Lodge, that was one of the things that impressed me, is that Zach and Blake's parents were like cooking for us and serving us. And I was just like, those are your parents? Like, I couldn't believe it. And it still carries through that same message, even at the leadership retreat. So powerful. There's more that I could go, but there's so many other leaders that I know I have to share. But we talked about, you know, all the different things that our company that makes us great. We have the best CEO, we have the best co-founders, they have the best heart, faith-based. I love that we are faith-based. And Roger Ball prayed, and he made me cry. I mean, that man has such an amazing heart that it was so powerful to see why they created that company. It really means so much to me that they are men of faith, and that men that really want us to win. Average, ordinary people that need that hope, that light, you know, and that vision, and a chance that not everybody gets to have. And so I'll close with that. And then as far as my tips to share, I talk about 2 things all the time. I talk about grit and grace. You know, have that grit to really get through the tough times, because they're going to come. Expect it, embrace it, run through the walls with it. And the other thing is to have grace on yourself, to be able to forgive yourself when you make the mistakes, to have the grace upon yourself when things don't always go right, because you're going to make tons of mistakes, and forgive yourself for those mistakes that just improve. And while you're improving, have grace on others, because they're learning just like you. They are also in this fight with you, and they're growing just like you. And then finally, guys, is get a running partner, someone that will actually hold you accountable, not somebody that's going to say, oh, it's okay that you didn't meet your goals today. It's okay that you didn't hit gold in 90 days. It's okay that you didn't hit associate, and not be mean about it, but holding them accountable to what they said that they were going to do. No complacency, you guys. There's no procrastination, right? Guys, I'll close with this and then I'll pass it on. This morning, I had a call from one of my clients at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, talk about the junk drawer, but this is just a learning lesson. But they procrastinated. We're closing, I'm in real estate. we're closing on Wednesday. They call me this morning at 6 o'clock saying we need more time because you only gave us 5 days. And I was like, wait a second, I did not give you 5 days. I gave you months and months and months. I had prepared you months before. I said, when it's going to happen, when we're going to close, it's going to happen just like that. You're not going to, I don't even know when the date will be. It'll happen. And I said, you've got to get your stuff out of your house, do the little things every day, move your furniture, all the big stuff, all the things that are unnecessary, move that, live, with just within what you need, because when closing comes, it'll happen. And they were like, you only gave me 5 days. I said, no, the thing I do as a realtor is I prepare you. What I cannot do for you is I cannot have you follow my instructions and listen. That's your job. I can only give you the tools, but you have to implement and you have to execute, and you didn't execute. I said, so who are you going to blame? Because she said, well, I just started a new job and he can't take off of work. And I said, whose fault is that? Well, I can't do this. And I was like, okay, so who else would you like to blame? Who else would you like to point the finger at? So what I'm going to leave with you with this, guys, is take a good look at yourself and make sure, Blake talked about this, is don't blame other people. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
That was excellent, Emily. And I have to tell you, whenever we do these different sorts, whenever we have a big event such as this, I always like to go at that event and share, because I know that it's so powerful when they have their story and they share like that. And I'm going to say this sincerely. I always kind of look for who's going to go up there and give me some tears, because I want everybody to really get the emotions coming. So Emily, I appreciate your just speaking from the heart, and next time you're going to go first. All right. So I just want to say, again, just great nuggets, everybody. Just excellent, excellent stuff. Thank you so much. Next lady I'm going to bring up, I met this lady in another company out in Hawaii. We were not affiliated with each other in any way, but I have to tell you that she was just, and you can probably hear the cats here. There's a cat over here that's loving what it's hearing. So it's going crazy. But I have to tell you, this lady here, we weren't affiliated with each other in terms of financially, but when I would go over to Hawaii, she was always one of the most caring, kind-hearted people, always willing to do whatever it took to help other people, despite obviously a busy life and a busy schedule. And now we get a chance to all partner up again in this company, and really the good-hearted people, it seems like they're all coming here, and that's the best. And that's Layla Medela. Layla, and I hope I might have butchered your last name, and I apologize about that. But are you okay to come on and share your story and what a tip for everybody as well?
Sure. Thank you, Mark, for the kind words. Yeah, I'm actually off today. I took an extra day off. I did get home yesterday. So I had a couple of appointments with my dad this morning, and then I'm home now. But I'm very grateful to you, Mark. And yes, you guys, I met Mark, and then I also met Karen in that same company. And Karen talked about that. And this is probably the third event that I've seen Karen at. And I said, when are you leaving and going all in? But I think this summit did it. You guys have been involved in the industry, and like Mark said, here in the islands, I think that's just our culture about loving everybody and being able to want to help, of course, and all of that. But that's here in this company. The culture that they're building is amazing. I have not seen it anywhere else. And I have had experience in other companies and never found founders that have so much love and really that you truly feel that they do believe in the field, right? And for them to say putting the field first, doing all of that. I mean, I like when the attorney went up and said that most companies ask, is this legal? Where 7K asks, is this right? That's very different, you guys. I mean, I was taken back by that. Like, they want to do it right and do things right, so the company will be here forever. I've gone on to share with other team members in the past about being at the right place at the right time. And you hear that all the time, you guys, in every company. But I truly believe where we're at, because of how the company's thriving here, if you do something about it, stay in the game, stay consistent, and share the message from now, this company's going to be so big that everybody's going to know about it, right? Not like those 10, 15-year-old companies that are still going at it. And I think it was Danielle where you had people stand up, right? 2016, how many people were up there? In 17, 18, 19, 20. So you can see that the tough times were back in 2016. How many of them are still here? I can guarantee you though, if they're buying a coin a month, they must have a lot of volume sitting there, and they're gonna end up coming back in the game if they haven't stepped out. So I am super proud to be part of a company that cares that much about people. Right in line with you know, my culture, my philosophy about being able to help, and I share it all the time about service to many leads to greatness. I wrote that on the banner at the Olympic facility that we were at. But you know, I'm just blessed to be here, and I know that there's so much more people that we can help, and it's just opening our mouths. I think Karen said that today. Using that big tool is being able to share. But the one tip I want to share, I mean, there's so many nuggets. Emily and Danielle killed it on stage. You guys, so did all the speakers. They did well. But the one thing that stuck out too was what Zach said. And there was one thing in there. He said the greatest teacher was the savior, you guys. I'm not going to get all religious on you guys, but the greatest teacher was the savior. And if we can emulate or copy him, where we can lead to teach people how to lead and teach others and create duplication. That stuck with me, like, oh my gosh, like I can go out and recruit, but not just being a recruiter, but being a sponsor to lead, to teach, to lead. So I that's the tip that I given. So today I spent a lot of time reaching out to the ones, and you know, like maybe I didn't do my part, my full part, but that founders video, you guys slam dunk. There's a lot of people that are looking at it now that you know, you can feel the hearts. We're with the right company at the right time with the right people. So thank you so much, Mark and Danielle. You guys rock. I mean, I love that we're all connected this way, and we're with the right company. So I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so much. Did you have a tip that you wanted to share with anybody, Layla?
Yeah, about leading to teach, but there's a couple different things. You know, the one other thing that stuck with me is what Danielle said, you guys. Old ways don't open new doors. So stop doing the old ways. Stop connecting the same people. Go get new people. There's millions of people out there. You know, that stuck with me too. Is like, it's not gonna open new doors. Although this is for everybody, plant the seed. Don't spend so much time in going back to the same people. But continue to keep adding to your list. We talk about that all the time with Emily. We had that with our group on Saturday night. From there is being able to keep your list going, keep that list going. But yeah, that's a good tip. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you know, one of the things that's excellent, Layla. And one of the things that we saw hold on one sec there. And one of the things that we saw while we were there is they actually did a calculation of the populations of the countries in which we're in, and it was over 600 million. And I want everybody to think about this. Sometimes we're frustrated because that one person we're trying to get doesn't see it. Well, you got to remember, if there's 600 million people in the areas of which we can go out there and share, and all you need to get yourself eligible to get paid are 2. So who cares if the person that you're sharing it with doesn't see it? Go find somebody else as fast as you possibly can, because there's people who are praying for this. Now, the next person, we have 2 more folks that I'm going to have come up, unless we've had other people jump on that I haven't seen yet. But I also want to mention, and he just mentioned it, he said an amen in here, and that's Kamaka. I don't know Kamaka very well. I got a chance to meet him a couple of times on this trip, but I got to tell you, what an incredibly good person, always smiling, always friendly, and just someone that 100% just fits into the mold of what we have here, of just good-hearted people who want to go out and bless others. He's an extremely talented musician.
Layla's nephew.
Layla's nephew. I didn't know that. Awesome. Yes, we're thrilled to have you here. And I love that shirt, Kamaka. Do you mind sharing a little bit?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mark, and aloha, Danielle. You know, I'm kind of over here shaking with nerves, and how could you guys let me follow those 2 before? No, but it truly is a blessing. I've so just a little bit about my background. I actually am from the island of Maui, currently residing on Oahu now. I've been adopted from Little Rock, Arkansas, and have just a beautiful life here in Hawaii, and found the desire to share through music. You know, for me, it's all about understanding culture. Like Layla said, it is about our culture, and it's about that aloha spirit. You know, Kathy mentioned, like, sometimes she doesn't, you know, most times she doesn't like when people just loosely throw that word of love around. And I feel the same way, because it's more of a way of being. For us, it's kindness, it's unity, it's you know, to be pleasant when other people are not being pleasant to you. It's humility, and it's also having patience. And this is something that I'm beginning to learn, is the way of our company. 7K and the members, the integrity that they have, it fits exactly where, my mission in life wants to serve. But, as this musician, I actually didn't have any plan. I was in the dump, actually. I was in a lot of debt. I didn't know how I was going to get out. And so when I first came into this, that's all I wanted to do was, I thought, okay, I got to figure out how I'm going to help my family, how I'm going to pay my bills. And then I realized that there's just so much heart, there's so much love in this space. And that's really all that matters. And because I've been given so much love, I take that as a mandate. I take that as a responsibility, because there are a lot of people hurting out there. And there's a lot of people praying for something like we have. We're so lucky and fortunate that we're able to have this information in front of us. And just like Danielle mentioned, it's divine timing. And one of the things that I take away is just, help other people, help other people, help other people so that they can help other people. And so thank you folks so much. Thank you for, paving the way. And, also a few other things I took down was, having a strong vision and a strong why. And that's exactly what Emily shared as well, sharing your story. And building a network marketing business doesn't build character, but it reveals it. And this is an opportunity where, we really get to dive deep, go deep and be fearless in your, endeavors in life and going out there to help people. And I guess, my tip would be this quote here by William Shakespeare, and it says, "Extreme fear can neither fight nor fly." So go out there and be fearless. I know I've never been this successful, I should say, in the network marketing space, and mainly because of fear. So this vision has completely changed for me because of our leaders and those of you out there who are, really sticking through and helping other people. So thank you for letting me share, and be fearless. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kamaka. You're a very, very good man. Look forward to getting to know you a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And this last couple, and I think, I don't know if we have any others that are on here, but I want to say something special about this last couple, because first off, they paved the way. They were here before every one of us was here. And they went through the challenges and they went through the ups and downs, and yet they came out on the other side. And I have to tell you the story that Colleen has shared about her background and what she had to go through has touched everyone's heart. If you've heard it, if you haven't, then you need to hear it. But we're so fortunate to be able to have Colleen and Jay Lee on here. I love this couple. They are just such humble servant leaders and just some of the nicest and incredible people that you want to partner with, you want to really share your lives with. And we're thrilled to have you both on. Would you mind sharing what your experience was this past weekend and maybe share a tip for everybody as well?
Well, thank you, Mark and Danielle. Wow, this last weekend, to me and Jay, it was just an absolute privilege to be among great leaders. We've been in the business, 2007 before the launch. And so we're silvers, but we're very solid silvers. We've held our rank for over 2 years and we're solid. We're building really that solid base, but we did go through a lot of changes, but they could go through a whole lot more changes and we would never leave. If I had to start at the bottom again, I would start at the bottom again and do everything over. So there's just not really any reason why anybody should quit this business. But I think my takeaway was when Josh was talking about, I'm going to have to read from my notes. We are men and women of purpose. Why am I doing this? Why am I going to do this? Help people find their purpose. We're dreamers. We are challengers. We're conquerors, and we are winners. And I think once we get that up here, take it down here, and then let's go out and share it with the world, because what God put in us
is not for us, it's for others. And so that's what this business is about, is helping people, helping people, helping people. So what's in you, you have to share it in order to create and do your purpose, what God put in you. So that was kind of my takeaway. So I'll let Jay do his.
You did a great job. We were so blessed to be there. I wished each and every one of you could have been there, and I wished everybody on our team could have been there to have that poured into us like they did. It was absolutely amazing. We got to go to the Olympic Training Center. If you hear noise in the background, we have 2 grandsons with us, and one of them is playing with silver coins right now. The small one's playing with silver coins, and this one he's all over the place, just like usual. Yep, we have Turner and Cooper here. So that's why we have the noise. But anyway, we got to go to this Olympic Training Center, and we got to hang out with the best of the best. And you know what? I had a lot of revelation there. Them guys are awesome, but you know what? They're just like us. They get up in the morning and they just go to work. And they're focused. And one of the things that Zach taught us was to keep the junk drawer closed. Our junk drawer, you guys, I have one in my head that, it'll open up just randomly. And I start thinking about junk. And Zach said, hey, keep it closed. And he said, if you see somebody with their junk drawer open, just say, hey, that sounds like your junk drawer is open. Why don't you just close it? Let's go. Let's look forward and let's stay focused. But back to that, these top leaders, they're just like you. There's really not that much difference. The only difference is they stay focused. They work hard. Success leaves clues. Each and every one of them, they're readers. Readers are leaders. But we just had such a great time, and we just felt so blessed to be there.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we are thrilled that you were here. Would you mind sharing a tip that you might want to have that you think everybody could benefit from?
I think our tip with our team is we just gave them the 5 key things and to work, to make a plan, and to work your calendar. So to me, if you do those 3 things, there's nothing stopping you.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you both joining us. And I know that we have another individual on here, and that's Traylene, and I hope I pronounced it correctly. I don't know if we've had a chance to meet Traylene, but I absolutely would love the chance to get to meet you a little bit. And we'd love to have you share what your experience was yourself. And also, if you wouldn't mind sharing a tip. Are you good with that?
Hi, yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Thanks for joining us.
All right, perfect. Aloha, everybody. Like Mark said, my name is Traylene. I am also from Hawaii on the island of Oahu. And this was actually my very first, it's all of our first leadership summit, but this was my first. And I just came out of there feeling just like super grateful and humble, and being able to meet the founders personally. It was really something special. This isn't my first network marketing company. I've been with multiple others, and most of the time the founders are like tucked away in some private VIP area, and you're not really able to like associate with them. And so it was just so cool to me to see like the founders were there interacting with us. I got to sit with 2 of them when we were eating lunch and dinner, and got to meet their wives and their kids. I mean, their kids was just like running. You can hear their little feet like running up and down the aisles. And it was so cool for me to actually experience that. And even when we went to the Olympic auditorium or gym, they were there participating in the games and stuff. And so, it was just amazing to experience that, and really experience that family environment and community that we have here in our company. And, I heard a lot of people say, we got the best team, we're in the best company. And we truly, really are. I mean, being able to hear their hearts and their stories about, just the beginning, like creating this company, and really hearing from their hearts were really such a huge blessing for me. And honestly, I wasn't even supposed to be there. You know, you had to hit a certain rank, but I'm just so grateful that Emily, you know, invited me to go, and being in the room with other leaders and the founders and being in that type of environment of, you know, wanting to help, like truly help people. I think it was just so impactful, and I'm just so grateful to be back home. I look forward to, you know, growing my business and sharing the message with others and bringing hope and really locking arms with the company to help the masses. So just so grateful, and thank you to Mark and Danielle for allowing me to share. Back to you.
Thank you, Traylene. Did you have a tip that you wanted to share from your experience or anything you want to pass on?
Oh, yes. The main thing that stuck out for me personally was that word perseverance. Josh shared a story about his hiking trip and how, I mean, that hiking trip, I don't know if anybody else shared the story already, but that hiking trip, you guys, caused all of his toenails to fall off. All of his toes turned black and all of his toenails fell off because he was trying to go after one ram. And in order to get that one ram, it took extensive physical endurance and perseverance. And he just, no matter what happened, he never gave up and he never lost hope. So I want to just encourage you guys that no matter what difficulties or delays or challenges that you might face, because we all will, to just continue to persevere and stay focused and remember why you're doing what you're doing, whether it's for yourself or your family or whatever the reason may be, just to persevere through those challenges, because you can do it. We all can do it. And we're doing it together. And that's what I love. You're not alone. You have an amazing team that's backing you up. You have amazing leaders that's standing there with you in the corner, and you're not alone. And together we will come out strong. So thank you, Mark.
You're very welcome. Thank you. That was an outstanding tip. And, you know, I know that Kash has her hand up. I'm going to get to you in just a second, Kash. I just want to say, everybody, you know, we wanted to let this, we normally keep this at about roughly 30 minutes, the 7K University. We don't ever want to overwhelm people with too much information. We want to often teach the fundamentals and the basics. I encourage everybody to plug in. There's so many other trainings that you can also do, but this is one we've been doing each week. This one's gone a little bit long, but we absolutely wanted everybody to have the chance to share their story and their experiences, because it's the stories that sell. It's the impact of being able to relate to people who've been able to experience something that maybe you have not yet been able to experience, them to be able to share their passion and their heart and really their commitment to go out there and achieve it. And also letting you know that you're part of this family. And no matter what rank you may be, you are an essential part of this family. And we want to help you achieve whatever dreams that you want, no matter how big or maybe not so big, depending upon whatever it is each individual out there wants. Here's what I would tell everybody, and then we'll just have a couple people with questions, because again, I want to be able to have everybody be able to get in their time. I know we're going a little bit over, but here's what my personal recommendation. I would say that this has changed my perspective. I've been in this industry almost 30 years. I've seen the negativity. I've seen the good and the bad. I've seen owners and CEOs lie to me, I should say. I've seen them hype up stuff. I've seen smoke and mirrors. I've seen a lot of stuff that's been fake. And you hear fake it till you make it. This isn't about faking it till you make it. This is about being real and being genuine and helping people to go out there and live a better life. And with what's happening to our dollar, everybody, this is something that is so essential for everybody out there to know about and to be able to hear about. If they don't say yes, that's okay. You've done your part by educating them and letting them know this exists. You've done your part to offer them a life ring to be able to help save themselves in this crazy world. And it's just like what was mentioned earlier, the concept here, not necessarily our company, but the concept is going to save this country. This is our chance. So I would encourage this world. And this is what I would tell everybody, you know, there's so much information, even the stuff you took off this call is like, wow, there's so much. I just want to go and give everybody all this information. Here's what I would do. You bottle that up to create a curiosity that's going to get people to want to see it. What we're doing, or what I've been doing, is I'm just going to be picking up and calling my friends and saying, hey, listen, what do you think about what's going on with this inflation? Or what do you think about what are your thoughts on gold and silver? Something to really kind of pre-screen and find out where they're at. And then this is all I'm going to be saying. You need to see what someone showed me. When can we hop on a Zoom? What's it all about? Well, it's dealing with gold and silver. It may or may not be what you're looking for, but you need to see this right now. When can we hop on a Zoom? You free right now? And have that immediacy, everybody. Don't just be planning, do it. Get people in front of this information. If there's a presentation that's going to be taking place in 3 days, don't just invite into the presentation in 3 days. Get them on right now. Say, listen, you need to see this now. You don't need to do the talking. You just need to play the videos, let that do the sharing, and then connect them with any of these incredible leaders who have that passion that they can say, listen, this is what it did for me. This is what it did for me. You have testimonials like crazy you can share with people as well. So let's go out there and really make a difference, everybody. Make a difference for your family's legacy. All of these people, many of them, we don't have any financial affiliation with, but we will go out there and we have a commitment that we will help them. They send people our way. We will treat them just like they're our own. We'll make them feel comfortable. We'll make them feel at home. We will edify that person who invited them. And we will simply create an environment that's really attractive for so many people at a time when they're looking for hope. And so that's all I had to share. And we're going to be wrapping up, but I see that Kasha's got her hand up. So I'll let you share, Kasha, and please feel free to share what's on your mind.
Well, I'm not gonna share nothing. I'm gonna say, Emily, thank you so much. You are my sister, my only sister on this planet Earth, and you don't know why, but I'm gonna tell you now. You are the second person after me who's crying on those screens here all the time. So thank you so much for not leaving me alone here, all crying and with my wet tissues. So I will, whenever I will see you, I will hug you for that. Thank you.
Awesome. So happy to hear it, Kasha. I hope everybody else got the emotional impact from this as well. In about less than 1 hour, everybody, we're going to be having our corporate call coming up, our corporate Zoom, I should say. So make sure you get on it. You'll have the link in an email that was sent to your email on file. So get on that. Thank you, all of the great leaders who are on here. And that includes all of the people who just got on to listen, because you're all great leaders. You're leading by example by being on this. And if people just emulated your example, then they would have a wonderful life as well. So welcome for all those people who have plugged in, and let's go out there and make a difference in this world and make a difference in your life and your family's legacy. Thanks so much, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning on our call to action Zoom and Coffee with Curtis. Thank you so much. Everybody take care. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys. Aloha.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Aloha.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Night.